I am not a licensed mobility scooter technician. I do what I do to keep my machine working. If you're having problems with your machine, I suggest going to your dealer. If you add accessories, warranty goes bye-bye. So I just kind of want to enjoy what I can while I can. So I strongly suggest you don't do the things that I do. I make the mistakes so you don't have to. So today I'm going to show you changing the ball joints and making sure the alignment is good. Now that I have all the parts that I need, I know I can actually do this properly this time. Okay, so I just finished another project, so I'm exhausted and hot, but this has to be done. I want this done before tomorrow, so I got to do it today. So I'll give you as much detail as I can and explain things as I go. Take the wheels off first. It just makes things a whole lot easier. I can't believe how loose that is. That nut is tight. because I check this every day. After I come home, I make sure everything's still nice and tight. Make sure nothing's loosened up. It's tight. I can't tell if it's the bearings, because I put new bearings in this. I can't tell if it's the bearings or the new speedometer thing. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. Because I can't get it any tighter. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But it's not causing an issue. So I'm going to inspect everything here, make sure everything's still tight. That's loosened up a little bit. That's loosened up a little bit. This is still perfect. I'm really impressed with that. Okay, I'll try the other side. And they all loosened up a little bit, but yeah. Nothing major. They're lock nuts, so they probably won't come off, but that I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get why that's like that. They cannot get that any tighter. Oh, I don't know, guys. Okay. So I just realized a mistake. The rubber kneeling pad here. I got the jack on it, so I can't move it. So I got nothing to kneel on. Okay, first thing, undo the nuts that are holding the ball joints on. I still gotta look for lock nuts for this, because all I could find around here are regular nuts. They're not locking, so I got them doubled up. Hopefully keep them from unscrewing themselves. So far they've been doing a good job. And normally, if these have been on for a while, there's flat edges on the ball joint shaft itself. You gotta put a wrench or something on that to hold it tight so you can unscrew these, but these haven't been on for very long, so they're not seized up or anything. I don't need to do that. I thought I loosened that. So this would be a good time to point out the failure of my bracket here. You can see part of it's missing. It screws in here, but because the plastic part's broken, the weld broke off of here, and it went away because it's not screwed in. So I lost a piece of my bracket, so I can't even fix that. All I can do is try to glue that one together and hope it holds. But I'm just gonna make new brackets for it eventually. At some point, it's not a priority right now. Oops. That's part of it. I got to top on that. I don't really need to take this up, but I'm going to show you the whole process anyways. As I already put new ball joints on here, but And as usual, the flies are driving me insane. Hey. Yeah, there. There's the top one off. And go around to the other side. Okay. Now, normally, you have these lock nuts. I'll do this side first. And these are usually pretty tight. So when you put your vice grips, you can see the flat edges on the ball joint itself. It's like that. And you may have a different style of ball joint. It's the same for both. Now you want to undo this lock nut, and this is the black one. This is regular thread, so you unscrew it. Guess I should grab the bar instead. Hang on here. Grab the bar. This thing hanging down is what the speedometer cable goes through, holds it in place. That's why that's there. So, unscrew. Now, depending on how long your ball joint's been on here, these threads are probably pretty rusty, so this might not be all that easy to do. Okay, once you unscrewed that, and if you need to, then you can use your vice grips on the ball joint itself and unscrew. So take that off. Toss away the old ball joint. Like I said, this one's new. So what I normally do when I put, actually, never mind. I gotta take this nut off because I gotta use my new bar. So I will take that. Actually, I'll do that now. I got it here. I might as well do it now. Go away, fly. Take that up. I don't plan on using the speedometer. I don't plan on replacing it because it's like 90 bucks, so I'll probably just go without. If I come into some money, then maybe I will. But okay, now this is the left one. This has the left-handed thread. So in order to loosen the ball joint, you have to actually turn it like you're tightening it. Unscrew it. And this is where I find out if I have a problem or not. Because where I welded the bar, I'm hoping I didn't weld directly to the nut. And if I did, I'm going to have a problem because I don't have any left threaded nuts. But we will see. Uh-oh. This could be an issue. And I got lucky. Yay. Okay. It's tight. It is very tight. But at least it's coming off, so I'm happy. Wow. Okay. So I am happy about that. It turned out better than I was expecting. So I'm going to hang on to this just as a backup, just in case. Oh my goodness. This is the new bar. I was going to paint this before I put it on, but it seems as though I'm not going to do that. Oh, go away, fly. And I just noticed the ends of the threads are kind of messed up a little bit. And that's the left-hand thread. I can't even put a die on that to fix it. Okay, so my faith has not been restored in Heartway. They sent me the right part, but they sent it in an envelope, and the end of it was sticking out. That's probably how it got damaged. Crying out loud. I have no other way of fixing these threads. And they're right at the end. So all I can do is put the nut on and hope it re-threads. That's all I can do. Hope I don't damage anything. So tight. Okay, I guess I got it. This is tight right at the end. Okay. Yeah, it looks like it fixed it. So I am going to check, where did my winches go? Okay, so this is not a 13 millimeter. No, it's a 12. Right, 12 millimeter. Okay. That's why the 13 didn't fit. It's a 12 millimeter nut. So I am going to dip this in grease. Everything's nice and icky. Put the nut back on. Again. Okay. Loosen it to tighten it. Get my tools all nice and greasy. Oops. Need it all the way down. Ick. Okay, so now I'm gonna put the lock nut on, which I tend to forget to do. Push that all the way down. And I'm gonna put the ball joint on. what I'm going to do is put it all the way on first. Normally what I do when I take this apart, when it's already adjusted properly, get it all the way on first, is when I loosen the lock nut, I leave it, as soon as it's loose, I leave it there, so I put the ball joint back to the same place where it was, but because I'm starting fresh, I put it all the way on, and then I count how many turns it takes to come off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 times, so I'll put it back on half as many, which is 5.5. Start from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. So I'm not going to tighten it. I'm going to leave it right there. Because I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Take some grease. Put the other nut on, and this one's a right-handed thread, so I can just screw it on normally. And now my fingers all greasy. Lock washer on. If it will. Get under. There we go. Now I'm going to grab me a Q-tip here. Get some of the grease off me here. So it's not too bad. I should have did this with the other side, but I'm just going to take the excess and spread it on here again. Okay, so put the new ball joint on, and this will be the same, 5.5. So just start there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5, which basically lines up with that. Okay. So, right ball joint, right hand ball joint on the right side, left on the left. So I gotta hook them up. And just to keep everything lined up, I'm going to put my vice grips on the bar. Get the ones that are already adjusted for it. That way I know the bar is not turning. And I can keep the ball joints in the right general direction. Stick that in. Put a nut on it. I've already greased these, so I don't need to worry about it. Yeah, that's such a hard angle to work on. Why is that getting tight? It might have dirt in it. Now you're gonna be a bugger, aren't ya? There we go. Probably got dirt on the threads. Tighten this up. I can't see what I'm doing here. So I'm going to change sides. preferably, if you can see that okay. The camera's kind of pointing down a bit. Preferably, to get this tight, you want to put your wrench on that so you can tighten it down nice like a nut and bolt. But this is actually not too bad doing it this way without the lock nut, so I don't need to bother. Put my second one on. Crank it down. And I don't think that's going anywhere. I hope not. I will check that eventually, make sure it stays tight. So that side's complete. I'll move around to this side, put the left one in. And see with the vice grip's holding the bar. The ball joint's still facing the same direction. Actually, before I put that on, I should do the top one first. Make it all that easier to reach. And you do the same thing. And you do the same thing I did with this one. These are already loose, so I don't need to do it, oops, a second time. However, have to hold the bar. Gears. Okay, I shouldn't have to go all that way down anyway. Hey, I did not say you could do that. Oh, and the other side. Oh, I fly. Oh yeah. Put the lock washer on, don't forget that. Away, fly. Make my life so much easier if you stay on the nut. Okay. Lock washer on. should put it back on here. That's the right one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. Just because. Okay, the only reason I put them on halfway, it leaves room for adjustment. Okay. So I'll put this one on. So inside here, I'm not sure how well you can see. You got this tab sticking out, and what happens is when you turn the steering, that's noisy. That sounds like the bearings are shot in there. That really wouldn't surprise me. Go away, fly. So you got this tab that moves back and forth when you turn your steering, and what that does is, and you get the ball joint in the hole. Oh, I got it upside down. Hold on 1 second here. Okay. So you put the ball joint in the hole. And when you turn now, I'm going to hold this up, not get in your way. It actually pushes the bar or pulls the bar. So what that does is when it's attached to here, it'll either push this or pull it, and that turns the wheel, and with the other ball joint attached to the other one, it turns the other wheel at the same time. So that's how that works. But before I can do anything else, see if I can get this stay pointed upwards. I can see what I'm doing, and you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Stick in that there. Sorry. That wasn't a good idea. So I gotta turn this outward so I can get the nut underneath. Because there's not a whole lot of room to play here. This is a lot easier to do with the front end lifted up in the air, by the way. Unfortunately, if I do that, I can't actually do the alignment properly. So, which way am I going? This way. Because I can lift it up, but then to do the alignment, I gotta let it down, and it's so much easier. Well, I wouldn't say easier, but less work involved. Okay, this is where I need the wrench on the top part because it's just turning the shaft now. I'll put the second nut on to keep everything in place. Hopefully. Tighten it up. And hope that holds. Okay. So now, I'll bring this one over. Back up a little bit here. Okay. Put those on. And even with this being a left-hand thread, only the shaft for the ball joint itself is left threaded. Where you put the nuts on, they're normal right threaded. Tighten that up. Second one on. Okay, that's good and tight. I'll bring the other ball joint. So at this point, I got the top connected, which will turn the left wheel, and then when I put this ball joint in, that'll also turn the right one now. As this bottom bar connects the two wheels together, so that they act together. So everything's now attached, tightened up. So I gotta take a break, and then I will show you how to adjust everything. Yeah. Oh. Hey, there's one thing sort of kind of important I never mentioned. Not important as in doing this, but unless you have a specialty mobility scooter, chances are your ball joints aren't going to look like this. Generally, the scooters don't have that much travel in the suspension, but because mine has a high travel potential, they have to use this style of ball joint. I thought I brought one out from the ES950, but I didn't, so I'll show you. I'll bring my light back here. I'll show you what yours likely look like. The chances are yours are going to look like this. That's a Heim joint or a Rose joint, depending on where you get them, what they're called. So they're basically the same thing, but the difference is the ball has a hole in it and the bolt goes through the center of the ball. It does the same thing, but they don't have as much travel. So generally, the basic mobility scooters will have that kind of a ball joint because the actual travel in the suspension is very little. So that's probably what yours look like. I was going to mention that right away. Oh, sorry, hang on a second. Too much noise in the video here. I was going to mention that right away, just so you know that my ball joints look different, but the process is actually the same. The only difference is instead of Actually, it's easier to show you from here. Instead of the actual ball joint having the bolt on it, you actually have a bolt that sticks through it. But everything else, the process is exactly the same. So, I figured I'd mention that. So if you see my ball joints and saying, well, that doesn't look like mine, the process will be the same. So now I'm going to show you how to adjust. Because if you look, this wheel is almost straight. It's kind of pointed inward a bit, and this one's pointed inward a lot. So it's towed in pretty seriously right now. So I will show you how to adjust that. But before I do that, I'm going to put the wheels back on because it'll make it a lot easier. Okay, so I'm not sure what you missed. I was sure I started recording, but I looked and the camera was off, so I tried to start it recording again, and it would freeze up. I had to take the battery out. Tried it again and it froze up again. I think the memory card might be full, so I'm using a different camera now. All I did was put the wheels on. In case you missed it, I did talk about this. Hey, now that's going to drive me nuts, because I don't know what's doing that. I put new batteries. I put new bearings in it, so I don't know. I don't know, guys. And the nut is as tight as I can get it. So I don't know what's causing that. This is going to be an annoyance. Okay, so let's step back and take a look. As you can see, that wheel's kind of pointed in a little bit, and that one's pointed in a lot. So, this is how we're going to fix that. So, on this camera, it's still recording. I don't have a light flash on this camera, so I can't tell just by looking at it if it's recording or not. So at this point, I can take the vice grips off the bars, if I can. It's pretty tight. Ow! Okay. And this bar will spin, and what's going to happen is, the reason one side is left-hand thread and the other is right-hand thread, because if they're both right-hand threads, then when you turn this bar, then it'll either screw out of one and into the other, or into one out of the other. You know what I mean? It would just move back and forth. So with them being opposite, when you spin this bar, it's actually going to either pull both ball joints together or push them apart. So the goal is here, I'll set the camera back a ways, get everything out of the way. Make sure you can see okay. And what you'll notice as I turn that bar, you'll see the wheels start either spreading out or getting closer together. Grease all over me. Okay, that's moving them closer together, so I gotta turn the bar the other way. Roll that and come back and look. And make sure that's somewhat straight. wheels are both basically pointing in the same direction. I say basically because not completely. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with this side. You want something that's long enough to reach both wheels. Unfortunately, my 2x2 is not exactly straight anymore, but it is straight this way, so I can use it. And just put it against both wheels. Okay, I'm going to stick something underneath the back. That way I don't have to try to hold the back up. So what you want is something to go across the center of both wheels. And just turn the front wheel so it's more or less straight across. So that's good. You will see that they don't line up. So this wheel is towed in a bit, and this one I have to tighten this bar a little more, and I don't think I can do it by hand. So I think this was 11 millimeter. 11 millimeter works. Turn it more. Actually, no. Yes. Yeah, that's right. I can't see them moving, so hopefully you can see them moving. Okay, that is still off. But if I straighten this one, so if the tire is the same distance at the front as it is to the back, then I can go over to the other side and check it again. Straighten it out. I'll keep that one constant so you can see what I'm doing on this side. So I went a little bit too far. Just a hair. I'll let you take a look here. I'll hold this up with my foot if I can. And you can see it's closer to the tire at the front than it is at the back. So it's now towed out, so I went a little bit too far. Not a lot, just a little bit. I'll turn the bar so that this wheel comes back out of it. A little bit more. One more turn. Okay, that's good. That's good. Oh, God. Okay. That's very close. I'm going to that one extra turn was a little too much. Okay. So, now that I got that done, what I have to do is I need to tighten this, tighten the lock nuts, and the important part here is the ball joint is now off. It's turned, so it's not perfectly straight up and down. No way you can see that with this camera. So I'm going to turn that if I can. Turn the ball joint so it's right up and down nicely. So now I'm going to hold the bar in place. Try not to move it. And tighten this nut. This is the left, so I have to go this way. Going the right way. Oh yeah, tighten it to loosen it. Hard. Yeah. Okay, so now I have to grab this ball joint, keep it from moving. As I tighten that nut, and the bar just moved a bit, but that's okay. Alright. So that's the purpose of that lock nut. It will keep this ball joint from moving. It will not unscrew now and self-adjust the alignment. Oh my goodness. Now I go over the other side and do the same thing. Okay. Same thing. Grab the bar so it doesn't move much. Move a little bit. That's okay. You'll hold it so the ball joint on the other side, and you can see it kind of moving around. So I'll make sure it's perfectly level. Hold that in place while I tighten this one. This one's free enough I can move it by my finger. Now, grab a hold of the ball joint here, and make sure it's nice and straight and level and even. Okay, so the bar should be good now. So now I'm going to grab the ball joint. There, tighten up. So, the importance of keeping the ball joint right side up, both of them, one on each side, they both have to be facing the same direction basically, so that they have the same travel. Because we have one ball joint that's angled this way and the other one angled the other way. When I hit a bump, they're not going to be able to move the right amount because one's going to be binding, and that's going to cause an issue. Possibly bend your steering bar, depending on the force that's on it. So they both have to be basically pointing straight up and down to prevent that from happening. Okay, now I'm going to set this down. I'm going to recheck just to make sure that it is aligned properly. But I'm going to set it down first so that the wheels will stay in place. Now, quick check. Sorry. That one's good. Okay, so this is kind of important. The wheels are straight. The tiller is not. And I was asked about this before. But somebody asked me why the scooter steers farther one way than the other. And the reason for that is because the tiller, you can see, well, it's really off. So with the wheels both pointing straight properly, this top bar now needs to be adjusted. And I don't know if you can see it. Okay, that tab sticking out where the ball joint attaches, that is way off center. So what you want to do now is you want to adjust this bar to pull that towards the center. You want that tab to be exactly perfectly centered because it's way off to the left right now. So according to the tiller, the steering, it thinks you're turning left, but the wheels are straight. So what that's going to do is, you can't see them, but there's tabs on the actual shaft that only it limits how far that tab sticking out can actually go. So once it hits those stops, it's not going to turn anymore. So because it's off center, it's going to reach one tab sooner than it will the other. So that's why you can turn one direction farther than the other. So what we need to do now is actually center that. And as you watch, when I start moving that bar, you'll see the tiller turning, but not the wheels. And there's no real rule for this, there's no way of really measuring. I just go by eye. It looks straight, but I'll sit on it to make sure. Try not to touch it. So that's more or less perfectly straight. The actual test is sitting on it. and making sure it looks straight. So that tab, I'm going to grab my light. So that tab is actually not centered. Yeah, it is. It's just a really, really wide bar. It does not look centered though. Look at it from the other side. It is not centered. Okay. I'm not sure why. So, I can't fix that. If I center that tab, then the steering is going to be to the right a little bit. So the only way to actually adjust that is this part in here that I adjusted earlier in an earlier video, last video. That came loose and was rattling like crazy. I would have to loosen that up and actually turn the tiller inside that tube. I'm not about to do that. I will settle with the steering being off to the right just a little bit. I am not really not worried about it, because the only thing that's going to do for me is I won't be able to turn right. I won't be able to turn left as far as I will be to the right. And I'm not worried about that at all. I don't have a problem with that. So now I have to tighten this bar to keep it from self-adjusting. And I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to show you, because it's pretty... I don't know what you're going to be able to see. I will try. Because I'm losing daylight now, I need some light. This is going to be interesting. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do, grab the bar and hope it doesn't move. Best I can. Okay, that'll work. I gotta switch glasses. I got that bifocal problem where I can only look through the bottom of my glasses, but I have to actually look up to see this. So even these are just barely in reach. Okay. Get the right wrench in there. And this is this way. I might be able to do that by hand. Maybe. That's the washer. There we go. This could take a while. Very little travel on the wrench. This could take a while. Go lay fly. Ball joint just turned a bit, that's okay. And no room to move the wrench. Alright. There we go. Okay, that's good and tight. Ball joint moved a bit, but that's okay because I can now pull it up with this one. And the other ball joint's looking good, lined up with it nicely. So now I can tighten this one. And I go this way, yep, same direction. Same issue with lack of wrench travel. Do it by hand a little bit. No, it's too tight. There we go. You probably can't see what I'm doing from that angle, but alright, now pull that a bit. Let's see if I can pull that ball joint back. It just moved. Go away, fly. Okay, that ball joint there. Almost good. Go away, fly. Looks good. Oh my goodness. And it's still straight. And the alignment is done. Oh my goodness. And that is how you change your ball joints. It's not difficult, it's just time consuming. And there's a lot of moving parts to keep under control simultaneously. Okay. Making sure it's still recording. So that's all I'm going to do for today. The sun is out, but it's getting darker in here. It's too dark for me to work. So all I have is my overhead light. I do have lights I can set up, but I got nothing else really to do. All I really wanted to get is underneath, so that's finished. That looks good. I'm happy with it. Another job complete and out of the way.